I want to ask a question because we were talking about that moment that you wake up and then you're susceptible to life. How much of how much you put in artistically reflects on how much work you put in personally, like in terms of your mental, emotional well-being and your overall well-being? Because I was asking this because I realized after a season of putting work on myself, it's like your brain just sort of opens up and then everything just kind of floods in and you're more susceptible to a lot of divine inspiration. How is it for you?
Mark, you said it. I mean, I don't even know if I have anything to add there. I resonate with that statement 100%. I feel like things that happen or things that we do, like inspired action, always works out so much better than just action. Yeah. For me, you know, people are like, okay, just get up and do something. And for some people, it unfolds like that and it works out well. But I find what works well for me is if I'm first personally in the right space, in the right frame of mind, in the right mood, and then I'm able to take action, like I call it inspired action, things just flow really well.
Yeah. Because you can't, you know, you can't always force creativity. At some point, then it becomes like this commercial paint by numbers. Oh, well, we have a song and it's a hit because, you know, the numbers say we use this key and this chord progression, which is used by a billion other songs, and we just repeat this phrase over and over as the chorus in this key, like 2 other songs last year, and we get this voice that sounds like those voices, and they dress the same way, and we have a video in the same concept. And but I mean, it sounds like, no, to be creative, at least for some people, you know, you have to allow creativity and not just force a thing out.
For this song, and this is a great point, for this song, I had to work through what do people want to hear from me versus what do I want to hear from, what do I want? So
what was the answer?
This song.
I went with my heart on this one. I went with what I wanted. So I actually showed this song, you know, in its early stages to a music colleague of mine who is in soca. And he suggested buying the song and wanted me to write it out and turn it into Carnival, I love you forever, ever, ever, which I think would be great.
Yes.
So like I'm open to a remix if that person is listening, you know, like you can still remix this song.
I'm not gonna lie, like that hook immediately, I'm like, I'm surprised no one's done it before.
Like I want like please take this song, remix this song. Like I'm not, you know, I'm open to that. But I really wanted to hear, and I played around with that idea a bit, but I really wanted to hear like what I wanted it to be. Yeah, for sure. And it's so satisfying for me to just, just really fulfilling.
We are run out of time, unfortunately, but I want to ask one more question. So I would say you have a very present, you have a presence on social media, right? And you've been doing this thing for a while, and it seems like, especially for performers and artists, social media is just like this constantly changing behemoth that people just can't seem to like always figure out and what works for them, et cetera, et cetera. How do you approach it? And what sort of advice would you give to other artists in terms of how they should approach social media, and also how much attachment they should have with social media, because it's also, the reality is it's not the real thing all of the time. Right. What's the experience and what is your...
Social media is a whole job on its own. And if you are doing your own social media, like recognize that you are doing a whole additional job. Like there are some people, like their job is social media management, which is an amazing career path as well. So I enjoy it. That's one of the things that makes it kind of easier for me, because I enjoy sharing and I enjoy posting and sometimes I'm not keeping up with the trends well, but like I posted something on TikTok and a guy asked like, are you new here? because the audio on TikTok, like apparently your audio needs to be clean, but on Instagram I post like live audio things and it gets a good response. But on TikTok, I don't know if they're looking for clean audio, because a lot of people, I posted the same video on both, and a lot of people commented like, this was great, but it was too loud, too overpowering, and I was like, interesting.
Okay, so it seems like the requirements, so now you have to figure out...
it out.
the requirements for each platform.
Yeah, let me just say that I think it will always be a process of figuring
Yes.
it out. And
Yes.
once we know that we're in that space and we're supposed to be figuring it out, trial and error, what works, what doesn't work, it is like free advertising.
Yeah.
So let me just put that out there. Like you
sure.
post, like it's free. It's free.
Particularly for artists.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just like to point out for all of you businesses that want to organize, advertise on television, right? You know, you need to have some personal touches with your brand if you want to do it on social media.
For sure. We are so grateful to have the piano girl,
Thank you for
Johanna,
having
right,
me.
on Breakthrough for the very, very first time. It won't be the last, hopefully.
Legendary
All right, but
piano
we're going
girl.
to have her back here for a backstage discussion so that we could talk more. Maybe
More,
even
yes.
for the full, you know, so
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that'll be absolutely great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks
it
for
was
having
great.
me.
Do you want to actually let me just introduce the song as we go out. This is the piano girl Johanna with her latest release, Forever. My name is Mark Anthony Peter, Sean Michael Small. This has been Breakthrough. Have a good week. Bye-bye.